Welcome back, everybody. If you are joining me on YouTube right now for this presentation, just know that you can go over to iTunes Podcasts or Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, even Spotify, and you can look up the Healthy Families Rule podcast, where I have over, 72 episodes, maybe even up to 90. I'm getting close to actually. We've been talking about digestive problems over there, and this is the last of that series. So, if you have digestive problems or know somebody who does, go check out my other podcast episodes just before this one, and you'll be able to get caught up on what we're talking about. But I thought it would be fun to try to throw it on YouTube today and present to you guys some slides and maybe just some information. My name is Heather Mitchell. I'm a certified master health coach, and I've been teaching health and wellness and educating others in my community and all over the internet, all over the world, for about 4 to 6 years now, somewhere in there, because I was going to school and still teaching and then became a health coach. I went on to get my master's certification to learn even more about the body and how I can help people treat their illnesses naturally and give them some remedies and some help for that. All right, so with that, let's get right into the presentation here. This is Digestive Problems Continued. Today, we are going to talk all about leaky gut, some allergies, SIBO, constipation, and diarrhea. Now, in my last episode, we talked all about the gallbladder and gallstones and how to treat that and really how to nourish your gallbladder so that it's functioning at its best. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video here so we can see the slides. And let's get going. So, digestive problems continued, leaky gut, allergies, SIBO, all of that. What is going on with people these days? Well, leaky gut can occur when the intestinal lining has been poorly maintained through insufficient protein intake, as well as through the presence of negative organisms that can cause inflammation and the breakdown of the lining. Added to that are the irritations coming from indigestible irritants from various plant foods, such as plant lectins. And if zinc levels and possibly selenium levels have become depleted from exposure to viruses, or from dietary deficits, then the intestinal barrier can be compromised as well. But you're going to want to note the intestinal barrier that keeps food and proteins in the intestine and prevents these substances from getting into the bloodstream is the same barrier that constitutes the blood-brain barrier. There is a similar barrier in the eyes. But food allergies can result definitely from leaky gut. So if you're having some food allergies and food sensitivities, possibly, you might check into healing your gut first. And typically on a GAPS diet, if people are on that for a while, like 3 to 6 months, that can really heal the gut and the gut lining. People will bring back in some of these foods that they love that were causing problems, and they don't have problems anymore. So you might want to look into the GAPS diet. That's GAPS, Gut and Psychology Syndrome. A lady named Natasha wrote a book all about the GAPS diet. Go check it out, Google it, whatever, YouTube it, because I found some really great information on that. In addition to supporting zinc and selenium levels, particularly after a virus, I have seen the greatest success in supporting iron levels through the intake of liver or liver powder in capsule form. And liver contains nature's most directly absorbable form of iron and is rich in a variety of other nutrients needed for the health of the body. The liver is where we store extra vital nutrients and is a treasure trove of valuable substances. Eating beef or liver replaces important heme iron levels and replenishes an important part of our immunity called lactoferrin, an iron-based molecule that suppresses negative bacteria into the body and supports the growth of beneficial organisms. Now, we know that heme iron levels, we absorb about 30%, and they come from your meats, your steaks, your chicken, your turkey, all your good organic healthy meats are going to have those heme iron levels, which we'll absorb about 30% of. In a matter of days and weeks, with iron levels supported, intestinal health can be turned around, food allergies ended, and the intestine largely repaired. Liver can be a remarkable gift for those who have experienced heavy blood loss, such as women with heavy periods or following pregnancy and birth, or possibly in rapidly growing children, especially teenagers. Give them some liver. I just purchased some liver. It's Ancestral Supplements. It's a really great company that makes liver supplements. So ancestralsupplements.com. You can also look on Amazon for that. Let's get into the next topic, which is SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth, or IBS, some people call it. But this is a condition where bacteria from the lower intestine take up residence in the small intestine where they do not belong. The condition tends to persist until it is treated. And there are two types of SIBO. One where the organisms produce hydrogen, which tends to cause diarrhea, and another type where the organisms produce methane, which tends to cause constipation. It is thought that many cases of IBS are actually SIBO. The supplements that I'm going to mention are going to be helpful for either type. So you can grab a notebook right now. I'm going to talk about these supplements, and I'll try to spell them out for you because you might not recognize what I'm saying here. The first one is called Perfect Pass Prebiotic, PHGG, partially hydrolyzed guar gum. It's just one big word. Perfect Pass Prebiotic, PHGG, partially hydrolyzed guar gum. It is a tasteless powder put into water and seems to help constipation. It is useful combined with the Perfect Pass products if needed. And then we have another Perfect Pass product. It's called Perfect Pass Probiotic Bacillus Spore Human Strain. This group of 3 bacillus organisms, including B. coagulans, survive stomach acid and make it to the intestine where they kill off negative competitors and nourish the intestinal tract, making it more hospitable for other probiotic organisms to take hold. Hyperbiotics, organic prebiotic powder, supports the growth of good bacteria. It's fertilizer for your probiotic organisms. Then we have Integrative Therapeutics Motility Activator. This is a product that kicks motility of the intestine back in so that people with the constipation version of SIBO can eliminate while they are clearing the bad bacteria out. SIBO can't be fixed until things get moving again. Neem, Neem, is used in India for all sorts of pest-related problems, from infections to pest removal in plants. But this could also be a useful oil for you. Mastic Gum also has been quite useful in correcting SIBO as well as H. pylori and GERD. It's an old remedy from Greece. Butyrate is a substance found most abundantly in butter or cream. It is highly anti-inflammatory, helps regulate blood sugar, and has anti-cancer properties, especially colorectal cancer. Our own beneficial bacteria make butyrate if they are given certain fibers that stimulate them to produce it. That can be as simple as eating an apple a day or can involve specific butyrate supplements. Adding butyrate to your intestines helps with almost all of the intestinal disorders that we've talked about here. Okay. There are various butyrate supplements available, but look at the following as a good time released example. Okay. Right now, it's Healus Complete Biotic Butyrate Supplement. That's HEALUS. Healus Complete. Biotic, Biotic, Butyrate, Butyrate supplement. And then you're going to look up Human Microbiome Project and the work they've done to map out the organisms living in a healthy human being. And for a fun presentation on SIBO related products, look up the That's So Retrograde podcast called Gut Instincts from July 6, 2015 with Dr. Pamela. That's So Retrograde. And the podcast episode is called Gut Instincts. All right. Some people have something called gastroparesis. And here's a couple of things they can take: sweet ginger pear tummy drops, soothing digestive aid, vagus nerve support, and Iberogast by Medical Futures. Iberogast. Now we get into everyone's favorite topic, which is constipation. Now, I work with a lot of different clients and they come to me with constipation. They have constipation issues. So, what is constipation? Well, it's a condition in which there is difficulty emptying the bowels, usually associated with hardened feces. Now, I have a client who is struggling to empty her bowels completely, but she does go to the bathroom every day, and they're not hardened feces. They're more of a softer feces, right? So could this be classified as constipation? Well, I don't really know. It sounds to me like she's still being able to empty something. Constipation to me was more like going a 24-hour period without even going to the bathroom at all. We might say that we're constipated. But either way, you want to feel like you're emptying out all the way. And so there are a plethora of ways to treat constipation. And I found that what works for one person doesn't always work for the other. So let me give you some ideas here of things you can take and what I've kind of explained to my clients to do. There is something called Oxy Powder by Global Healing Center, and this will clean you out, but you will need to be near a bathroom after taking this the night before. Okay. There's something also called Eliminaid, Eliminaid, Eliminaid Detox RX. This is an herbal laxative that will never cause any kind of discomfort or blowouts. It just helps you go with minimal fanfare. It's an excellent product. Heather's tummy fiber, not me, someone else named Heather has some tummy fiber. Acacia fiber is soft and gentle and effective. Amaranth, eaten as a hot cereal with a ratio of 5:1, water added and cooked for 20 to 30 minutes. Low iron levels need to be corrected in order to have sufficient muscular strength in the intestinal muscles for effective peristalsis. Be aware that oxalates in dark green leafy vegetables bind iron, can greatly disturb intestinal function as a result. Other minerals are bound as well. Always steam your spinach, kale, chard, etc. because those softer and those steamed vegetables are so much easier on the digestive system and the lining of the gut. And that's part of the GAPS diet too. Other things I always mention to my clients is to make sure they're up on their electrolytes and their magnesium, of course. There is a wonderful supplement called Triphala, Triphala, and you take a couple of those every day. It's definitely cleared me out. So I think it's going to help some people, not all people. Definitely some. You may need to add some whole grain in there too if you're feeling like your stools aren't solid. So we want to make sure that we're getting the good fiber in there for sure. That's why maybe that Heather's tummy fiber might help, but I would add maybe just some gluten-free oatmeal in the morning on some of those days, and put some flax seed in there too, some hemp seed and chia seed, and just see what happens. Okay. Now, then we have the full other spectrum, which is diarrhea. I get a lot of people coming to me who have diarrhea. So we got to first look to electrolytes, because the body will sometimes deliver larger amounts of sodium to the intestinal tract, which will then draw more water to that area as well, causing loose stools and possibly diarrhea. And this may be done for various reasons, including perhaps to flush out toxins from a bacterial infection or to purge other irritants that are causing inflammation. So if you've been having looser stools, you must replace sodium because you're bound to be low. So boost those salt levels first, and then you follow that with potassium. All right. Um, what kind of salt? We always talk about this. Himalayan pink salt is great. Celtic salt is great. Redmond's real salt is great. All of those have upwards of 70 to 90 plus minerals. Great salts. How much per day? I recommend at least 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar per day. So make sure you're sprinkling those on your foods and you're getting enough salt, putting some in your water even. And that's really, really, really going to help you to start balancing out. But why the heck do we have diarrhea and constipation in the first place? We have to address what's causing this. And then, of course, we look at our diet. There's definitely inflammatory foods that we're eating that aren't sitting well with our tummies. We need to make sure that we have a diary, a little journal with us, so that we can write down when we're super gassy and when our stomach is upset and when we have diarrhea or constipation. Let's keep track of the foods we ate so we can remember to cut those out. And more importantly, on the days we're feeling regular and we're feeling really good, what did we eat those days that caused us to feel so darn great, so amazing? We want to keep track of this stuff so we can know exactly how to listen to our body and what it's telling us to do. We become more intuitive that way with a diet that's just right for us, because bioindividuality exists. No one diet is right for the same person. Sure, there might be a plan you can jumpstart on that is ultimately going to help you lose weight and get to a healthy weight. And then you find the eating plan that's really dialed in to your specific DNA, everything specific about you, whether it's blood type or whether it's just allergies that maybe you've gone and you've tested yourself. And now we can really fine tune things that are going to work for you as far as food goes. So there you go. Things that can stop diarrhea. Okay, let's get into that. Get some of the probiotic Saccharomyces boulardii. Those are hard words to pronounce, okay? But these are these probiotics, Saccharomyces boulardii. This is actually a friendly yeast originally used to make buttermilk. It is not a probiotic bacterium. Saccharomyces is covered in a special sugar called mannose, Mannose, that is attractive to negative bacteria. They swarm and attach to the mannose covering the yeast, which then carries them safely out of the intestine in short order. Diarrhea can often be stopped within an hour. Take 2 or 3 caps at a time or more, as much as you need. It doesn't need to be refrigerated and can be carried while traveling just in case. This treatment has been effective for C. difficile, Difficile, which is often quite difficult to clear up. And you'll know if you have that because I can't pronounce it, but some of you'll know exactly what that is. The probiotic organism called Bacillus coagulans is able to wipe out negative or pathogenic bacteria once they have taken hold in the intestine. So look up any brands on Amazon and read reviews. Beneficial probiotics can be taken following with better effect, of course, better diet too. Lactobacillus reuteri is another gentle probiotic that babies normally receive from their mother's breasts while nursing. It is easily established in the intestines and fends off the colonization of other negative organisms very readily. It is being used frequently these days for women with vaginosis, where it reestablishes normal flora within days, but it is also helpful for reestablishing flora balance in the intestine as well. D-mannose, as mentioned, just barely, is part of our bacterial defense system, and we should have a sufficient amount covering the lining of our bladder, intestines, and upper and lower respiratory tract. Negative bacteria grab hold of the sugar, and with hands full of it, they are then unable to attach to tissue and infect it. Thus, deficiency of this sugar allows bacteria to take hold. If you have had recent infections in the bladder or intestines or respiratory tract, you may have depleted your mannose levels and need to replace them. Mannose is available at the health food store. A container's worth might be enough to restore you to good health. But for longer term problems with bacterial infections in the intestines, it might be wise to also take some proteolytic enzymes, which would include either serapeptase or nattokinase. Let me spell those: SERRAPEPTASE or nattokinase, NATTOKINASE. These enzymes are capable of breaking down the biofilm that some pathogenic bacteria hide under as a defense system, thus exposing them to whatever other remedies you are using. Several doses per day taken on an empty stomach might be helpful. Let's not forget about charcoal. Charcoal caps bamboo charcoal works best. Charcoal caps bamboo charcoal works best. So just look that up. Charcoal caps bamboo charcoal. Coconut charcoal is also good. Regular charcoal will work well enough. If nothing else, burn toast until it is black and eat that for a similar effect. I mean, who knew? You guys, some people love burnt toast, but it says here that that can be done. This is an old trick used by soldiers in the field in wartime if diarrhea occurred. Eat some burnt toast. All right, so here's a few more remedies for diarrhea. And we're on diarrhea. Sorry, guys. Next slide, which we're on now. Here's a few more remedies for diarrhea. Add a teaspoon of turmeric to a glass of warm water or milk. Honey can be added. It may need to pass all the way through before working. Grated apple. You're going to peel an apple and grate with the small holes on the grater. Squeeze the juice out of it and eat the dry pulp. It's an old remedy and works, but that I have no idea why that works. It's just an old remedy. Coconut macaroon cookies. Oh, those are good, right? Of all things are known to stop chronic diarrhea. Coconut oil is very antimicrobial, but what about eating these works is also an unknown. But they do work. The herbs slippery elm. Write this down. I've heard this one several times. Slippery elm. Sounds like it goes right with diarrhea, doesn't it? It actually does help clear that up. The other one is marshmallow root. Fennel and ginger are all soothing to an irritated intestinal tract. High quality aloe vera juice can help too. Sometimes a very negative bacteria has taken hold. Natural antibacterial can often be helpful. These would include grapefruit seed extract, Mediterranean oregano, that's oregano by North American Herb and Spice Company, Manuka honey, which is an amazing honey. It's expensive, but it's good stuff. Ollie Max, which is an extract of antibacterial allicin from garlic. And then Ancestral brand intestine support. So Ancestral Supplements brand intestine support. The traditional brat diet. Okay, now I've read about the brat diet. I do hear that it works for diarrhea. So look into the brat diet on Dr. Axe's website. It's a diet of bread, white rice, applesauce, and toast can be helpful while you are working with the remedies. And then, of course, babies need cream in their diet for absorption, and we do too. So I always make my own creme fraiche, and I make that out of an organic whipping cream. It's really, really good. So I try to stay up on my cream too. Let's talk quickly about, we've covered diarrhea, we've covered constipation, SIBO, leaky gut. Let's quickly cover colic because, you know, colic is typically a tummy issue in babies too. Low magnesium levels are the most common culprit in colic in babies. Okay, so boosting mother's levels of magnesium are the most effective if she is nursing. A topical magnesium could be applied to a baby's feet if needed. I have a friend, like I said, who uses the topical magnesium. She swears by it. She loves it. So look into that. And then, of course, fennel, chamomile, lemon balm, or ginger given to mother or mixed with formula can help colic. Also, iron. So eat liver to help the baby pass, whatever's going on in the baby. So maybe the mom needs to be up on her iron if she's breastfeeding and feeds that to the baby. This is going to strengthen the valve at the top of the stomach, eliminating reflux. Boron Colic Comfort Drops is another one, Boiron. Boiron Colic Comfort Drops. Okay. And then we got Tummy Calm Gas Relief Drops, Zarbee's Gripe Water, and then babies with runny poops, nursing a lot but not gaining well and being fussy may need more cream from mother's milk. She needs more cream in her diet. So I just mentioned creme fraiche, just getting more good thick stuff like that on foods. Marshmallow root might help as well. You're going to want to eat ice cream. I'm not going to say that's a terrible thing, but watch the sugar intake on that, okay? Not good to just be eating a ton of sugar. All right, so there's that for colicky babies. Also, I will mention colicky babies do really well when the mother's holding the baby and the mother's going barefoot outside, walking on the grass, walking on the ground. For some reason, the earthing and the grounding with a colicky baby really helps that baby get out of pain quicker. All right, so maybe you try going barefoot outside for several days in a row, 20 minutes a day at the least. All right. Okay, let's talk about Candida. Candida. What is Candida? I have a quick definition of this. I wanted to just check it out real fast. Definition of Candida. We know it's a yeast-like parasitic fungus that can sometimes cause thrush. All right. Candida is a yeast that normally exists in its harmless and beneficial in its harmless and beneficial yeast form in the digestive tract and throughout the body, along with 100 trillion other microbes, primarily due to the effect of antibiotics. It rapidly converts to its fungal form and spreads throughout the body. The fungal form will affect the way every organ, tissue, and cell of the body functions. Okay? So that's what Candida is. We need to talk about some helpful supplements here for Candida. Helpful supplements are Thorne Research Formula SF722 Undecyclinic. Okay, I'm going to spell that one. UNDECYLENIC. Undecyclinic acid. Thorne Research Formula SF722 undecyclinic acid. This substance was used in World War I and II for soldiers who had fungal infections. It is still a powerful help for people with intestinal or systemic candida. Here's another one. Pau d'Arco is also highly antifungal. PAU, capital D, capital ARCO, and that's the name of that one. And then boron is nature's own antifungal mineral. So just look up boron on Amazon, get some of that. And those will help with candida. Last one here. First of all, the last one is hemorrhoids. So we just want to quickly hit that. If you have hemorrhoids, look for a supplement called Rutin, Rutin, and then you're going to want to boost those iron levels right away. Okay. And I would also say stay up on your electrolytes and do some earthing and grounding as well. Awesome. Okay. So now that I've given you all of that, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you are learning more about the digestive tract and the digestive system and how to nourish it. how to help it so that you're always feeling your best. And if you're having any digestive distress at all, I want to invite you to come get coached by me. Just having a health coach to guide you and help you and give you supplement ideas and give you food ideas and start you off on a program that's going to help you decrease inflammation in your body and start to heal your gut. Priceless, you guys. So I want you to, if you're interested, come work with me, if even only for a month or two. So you're going to fill out a health assessment form, and you can find that on my website at healthcoachheather.com. Go fill that out. I'll look it over, see if you'd be a good candidate for coaching. But typically, if you have any problems at all with your digestive system, I can help you for sure. So don't sit in pain and suffering. Come get coached. Here's a lot of people here. Well, I guess not a lot. Just some of the people that found health coaching and decreased inflammation, started to heal their gut, started to look and feel better, and gain confidence. And when you're really working hard on you, it just comes together so nicely. So if you're looking for some good results like this, I want you to consider getting coached by me. If you know anybody who's maybe struggling with a weight problem, or maybe a gut issue, a gallbladder issue, maybe they've got fatty liver disease, let me be their coach. So send them right over to me. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.